Hi, I'm Brandon. I love Fast Fridays.
I'm Ryan. I also really quite love Fast Fridays.
Vroom to each of you. I'm Dan. I also quite love Fast Fridays. And this is the
Deck the Hallmark Podcast.
Deck the Hallmark, it's his podcast. Brandon and friends host his podcast. We hope you like this jolly podcast.
Well, vroom to those out there. It is officially October, which is officially spooky month.
Spooky month.
Spooky month.
You know what's spooky is we're about done with Fast Fridays.
Oh,
It's more sad than spooky.
It really went quick,
It did.
didn't it?
It
just started this journey.
vroomed right by, I will say.
Vroom.
We are back next week with one last week. Hobbs and Shaw. Figured we'd knock it out. We don't want to leave people hanging.
Yeah, of course.
That would be wrong. That'd be wrong. And then I guess we'll be back in January for The Way Home. I don't think it's been announced, but
Yeah, I
mean,
feel like that's probably the plan,
probably
right?
happening, right?
We'll see.
Right around
we'll
there.
see you occasionally over the holiday season, Rye. Right?
Yeah, no, we still have to figure out how it looks, but yeah, you guys know I'm game. I'm gonna try to pop in for the marathon at some point as my schedule allows. Maybe I'll do like a late night session on the marathon.
Ooh,
we got a pot of parade at some point.
Of course.
Maybe.
Of course.
Yeah,
Can't let that opportunity slip through our fingers. The first person that gets to the market with that podcasting old parades idea is going to be sitting on a gold mine.
This is exactly what you said with Deck the Hallmark.
That's not exactly what I said.
Exactly what you said. You were sarcastic. You were like, "There's no one's ever going to listen," and here we are today, Dan.
I did say that. I didn't say the other thing because there were people already in the home.
I know, but I'm saying like you were wrong about that. What I'm trying to say is you were wrong, then you're wrong now.
Yeah, got it. I got it.
It could be. Dan and I were talking though, Brand. We might have to pod a singular parade in multiple parts because none of us have 2.5 hours to pod a singular
I beg to differ. We have been watching these,
That's
so.
true. That's true.
I suppose it's equatable. Sure.
It sure is equatable. I can't help but wonder what it's like up there right now where you are. Is it folly? Are the leaves just vibrant?
Not yet. I give it another week and a half. By the time Halloween hits, it's real. The fall foliage is a real thing. I think there's a lot of it's a pros and cons Northeast living type of thing, but that fall foliage is right up there with the biggest of the pros. We can't wait for it here. We're having a meeting and everything.
You're having a meeting.
Having a meting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. They're just like we're just looking at the old, leaves.
Do you guys have a meeting to go? When do you think they're going to get here? Do you think
Who's invited to this?
leaves are coming this year? Hey, good to see you, Dave. Good to see you. Thanks for coming.
The entire Northeast.
The entire Northeast gets together and talks about it. I love that.
The whole kit and caboodle.
Now, Ryan, you're a child trapped in an adult body. Do you love Halloween? Do you get excited when it turns to October?
I've come to really like the fall.
Okay.
I love the fall.
You've come to really like it, which means
it had to grow on you.
You used to hate it?
Screw that
Well,
fall.
as a kid, I was synonymous with the fall being like back in the thick of school, and I just didn't love school. You know, like I feel weird saying that to former educators, but I just didn't love school. You know,
I mean,
I'm still an active educator, and that doesn't bother me a bit.
I'm a former, and there's a reason.
Yeah. And so, but as an adult, yeah, I love fall. And but no, Halloween is not my jam. I actually, like, Brand, this probably won't surprise you. You might do something similar. I flip the switch on the Christmas tree at midnight on November 1st. So Halloween is literally after I go trick or treating with the nephews. Halloween is literally set up the apartment for Christmas for November 1st.
Yeah. No,
do you dress up? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Brandon.
No, I know that's a good question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially in recent years with the nephews and with Alyssa, you know, we're trying to do tandem costumes and all that type of stuff. And now the dog. So,
well, okay, give us the last couple years. What have you been doing in the past couple years, and what are you considering this year?
So last year, I thought Alyssa and I crushed it. We did Top Gun Maverick, but we did like the B characters from Top Gun Maverick. So I was Bob and she was Phoenix.
Oh my god!
Like really deep cut Top Gun Maverick stuff.
You guys are cool.
And then it was sick. And then this year we got two choices at the moment. This could all change, but who knows? Alyssa's choice. No one's really been super hot on it.
All right.
Which is Alyssa wants me to be Neil Armstrong. She wants Luna to be the moon, and Alyssa just wants to be the American flag. I don't know if she's going to really appreciate that. My whole thing, though, is no My whole thing is no one's gonna understand that Luna's the moon. They're just gonna think we're carrying around our dog while trick or treating.
Well,
Like
are you putting Luna in a dog costume?
No, like
She's
Luna
the
just
moon.
looks like the moon.
I know, but I do feel like you have to put in the effort though if you're gonna do that. Like you gotta find a moon costume.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing. We don't want anything that goes over the head, like you know. So it's like we don't want to. We're not no judgment to anyone who does. We're not huge on the like overt dog Halloween costumes. So that's one choice.
Okay.
And then
He
mine
said
is
no
a lot
judgment
more,
though, so like
That's right.
people can't get offended by that. No offense.
Yeah, well, I got the iTunes commenters are saying I'm a bully.
Yeah.
So it's been a rough.
Yeah, they are. They're still coming after you. Sorry, go ahead.
Mine's a lot more simple, although it is timely after this past weekend in football. I pitched, I'm Woody, she's Bo Peep, and Luna is Buzz.
Yeah.
And like, so it's to me, that's like,
Did you see this,
it's fun.
Dan?
I did.
The Toy
I
Story
didn't
football?
watch- I saw replays of. So I was watching the game. on
Amazing what
actual
they can do
ESPN.
these
Yeah,
days.
Yeah. I mean, it looked really cool in real time. So it's like timely enough, but also it just makes sense. So I don't know. Neither is, I think, a home run, but that's where we're at.
What do you think? Which one would you go
I
with?
think you put on like a nice suit, and Alyssa wears like a dress, and then you put a bunch of flowers on Luna, and it's husband, wife, and flower girl.
But it's just a bit.
Brand, what do you think?
It's just a bit though.
It's just a bit.
It's just a bit
that I
though.
thought of just now. Brand asked me. That was my 2 cents. I thought it'd be funny.
Vin Diesel, Letty, and I don't know. What? Oh, Lil Brian. Yeah.
B.
Oh, yeah, that's really
There you go. Keep it in the Fast Fridays family.
Maybe we just rock our Fast Friday shirts and call it a
I
day.
like
Although Alyssa missed out on the drop.
Alyssa missed the drop.
She didn't.
Unbelievable.
She missed
Oh,
out.
that's tough. There's nothing we can do.
Nothing we can do.
There we go.
Yeah.
It's out of our hands. It's out of our hands. Fast X, everybody. Fast X. It did originally premiere at the Coliseum on May.
I'm pretty sure that's a Game of Thrones character.
On May 12th, 2023. And then about a week later, May 19th, everywhere else outside of the Coliseum. And it went a little something like this. The movie opens up with a flashback.
Coliseum also has Jason Momoa.
Absolutely. With a flashback to 10 years ago. Remember back in Fast 5, 5 weeks ago for us,
ago, of course,
but 10
yes.
years ago for them. They pulled the safe around the city. Well, we see it again, except this time we see that Reyes has a son named Dante, and Dante was chasing them in a separate car than his father was in, and was flung into the water, except he lives. He lives to tell the tale. Fast forward to present day. Dom and crew are just happy as can be, eating a meal together. You'd think, is this the end of the movie? No, sir. It's the beginning. Tej, Roman, Ramsey, Han, they're heading to Rome for a mission. And Dom's staying back because, once again, Dom, he's getting too old for this stuff.
Come on.
He's getting too old for this stuff. Late that night, Dom is greeted by a wounded Cypher who arrives...
So Wounded Cypher.
Oh my
It's the
gosh.
best death metal band I've ever
So
seen.
good.
Oh my
Their
gosh.
B-sides are sick.
Amazing.
Oh.
Their B-sides are better than most people's A-sides.
That's right. Yeah. It's BA.
And informs him and Letty that Dante showed up at her lair. I'd love a lair. And turned her crew against her and is going to go after Dom as revenge for his father's death. Lil Nobody, who's in charge now, and got a standing ovation from Aaron as we were watching, shows up to get Cypher, and that's when everyone realizes that the mission in Rome is a setup. What? Dante's already there in Rome and releases a metal ball bomb into the streets. Dom shows up, didn't really miss any of the action, so quick to the draw over there. Dom shows up and races the bomb down the streets, trying to push it into the water. He does do that last second, and it goes into the river. It still explodes, and caused quite the destruction to Rome. The crew is now considered terrorists, and a manhunt has begun to go after Dom and his gang, although Letty's already captured. Back at home, Mia is with Lil Brian, and the home is ambushed. Luckily, Dom called his brother at some point. You remember John Cena? He comes to the rescue, and is now just the best dude. Just hang 10 with John Cena. Mr. Nobody's daughter, Tess, is convinced that the team is innocent and uses God's eye to find Dom in Naples, informing him that Dante is in Rio de Janeiro. So Dom shows up there.
Think Rio is in Italy?
Yeah, Rio, Italy.
De Janeiro.
De Janeiro.
Mamma mia.
It's in Italia. So Dom shows up to confront, and Dante naturally is there and is like, hey, we should street race because it's a fast movie. But Dante saw this coming, not surprised that this is what Dom wanted to do, rigs the race with explosions and stuff. Tess finds Letty and covertly, it's Friday, everybody. Wounds her and sends her to the prison's treatment center, where she wakes up right next to Cypher. Naturally, they fight big ones because we need this scene. It is BA. It is awesome. They are just going through glass and stuff, but they do figure out that they're going to need to work together in order to escape. In London, Han gets high and then leads him to Shaw, and because he knows where Shaw is, and asks if he'll help after fighting, because they have to fight. He's like, yeah, sure, why not? If you're wondering about Jacob and Lil Brian, don't. They're just flying through the air in a canoe jet. I don't know what it is, but it's something, but they're flying through the air. They're fine, though. The new agency guy joins forces with Dom to fight Dante on a bridge with lots of guns, explosions, whatnot. Then Tess shows up looking awesome with spiky shoes. Dom and Dante get into a fist fight, and it looks like Dom has it, but Dante's team starts sniping people, pew, 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 including Tess. He takes God's eye from Tess and leaves, which he's gonna use to find the location of Lil Brian and Jacob. Jacob and Lil Brian have gone to Portugal because that's where the rendezvous, and I'm through. Yeah, I'm through with you. Boom. They're supposed to rendezvous there, but no one's there. An alarm goes off, so Jacob and Brian get into a cannon car. That's right, a cannon car. They bust out of a cave and onto the road, and Dante is there and is like, hey, chase them down. They start shooting explosives at the bad guys with the cannon car. Dom and his car are dropped from a plane, causing just absolute chaos. Lil Brian tries to unjam the cannon car, but gets snatched by Dante. So Jacob sacrifices himself to take out the baddies. I am 100% sure that we will never see John Cena again in this franchise. So now it's just 1v1, Dom versus Dante, until Dante gets two helicopters to attach to Dom's car, tries to lift him up into the air, but Dom just kind of turns on the NOS and just flies through the air, making the copters crash into each other exactly how he planned. He then causes Dante's car to go spinny go daisies. He's also going spinny go daisies, if you can imagine. So just watch on file. I'm going to do it some acting out here. So they're going spinnies. Dom is also going spinny, and that's when he says, hey, jump, and Lil Brian jumps out of one spinny go daisies car into Dom's spinny go daisies car. All done, except no, not all done. Dante has trucks trapped Dom on top of a bridge. Roman and the gang are on a plane. They're coming to help, but someone shoots him down with a missile. Who is it? It's the new agency guy, Ames, that I knew the name of and definitely looked up right before we recorded this. He double-crossed the triple-cross. The two trucks then come to sandwich Dom, and Dom reminds Dante via walkie-talkie that I made a huge mistake. You didn't take my car. So he hits the gas, shoots off the bridge, goes down. He's being chased by fire at this point and lands in the dam. He and Lil B survive without a single scratch, burn, or boo-boo. But Dante isn't done. He sets a timer so that the whole bridge explodes. It's not looking good. It quickly cuts to Antarctica, where Cypher and Letty or walking in the deep, deep snow when a submarine emerges. And guess who pops out? It's Wonder Woman. She's alive. Roll credits. Full hanger. But mid-credit scene.
Cliffhanger's a dear friend of mine, and the fact that you would besmirch his name like that is unbelievable.
Cliff's the driver of the week.
I know. But mid-credit scene, we see a SWAT team breaking in. There's the masked agent watching a video of Dante saying that he's going to make him suffer. He pulls off his mask, and it's Hobbs. Dante says, I'm coming for you, and Hobbs says, I'm not hard to find, you son of a bee. And that, my friends, was Fast X.
We did it.
Brand, great work.
Yeah.
That was legitimately really impressive.
Thanks, guys.
Good writing.
Thanks.
Reading.
Yeah, the reading's always the toughest part. After last week, I felt like I really had to put in the work.
Yeah. We just let that one sail off into the sunset, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll break this movie down with 4 segments here on Deck the Hallmark.
That's right.
Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about Fast X, the most recent of the Fast movies. Let's break it down. Let's start with the hot take. It's where we share exactly how we felt about this movie. I'm going to start with you, Brian, Lil B. What'd you think of Fast X?
His name is Ryan, you know.
Dang it.
You called.
Oh, I thought it was. I thought he was.
You called a guy we've been dear friends with for literally a year. If you're watching on Philo, Brain is literally walking off the set.
Here's what happened too, Dan. He didn't even call. He continued the bit.
Yeah.
Like he called me little. That's why I couldn't think it was possibly me.
That's how tired Brain is. Brain had some Papa John's pizza for lunch. It did him wrong.
Not a good idea.
And he's not been the same since. Papa John's is never a good idea. We do have Little B in here with us.
Hey, Little B.
What's up?
Yeah, you guys cold?
Yeah, we did. Bran forgot the name of our dear friend Ryan Pappolla.
Unbelievable.
We also did an Italian accent during the synopsis. Was that offensive? Maybe. I don't know.
Could be.
What was it? I don't know if it was offensive to Italy or to the people of Rio de Janeiro. Either
They didn't recognize it anyway, so.
The best part about doing an Italian accent is I think Italians welcome it. They welcome that like part of it. We'll welcome Bran back in. That's the wrong part of the horse, Bran.
I'm so sorry, Ryan.
Oh, Brand, I'm not upset at all. I feel like you're gonna overheat in that thing. Though.
Yeah.
Don't
It's
do this
so
if you don't
hot
have
in
to.
here today, man. But you know what? I deserve this.
He does.
I deserve this. It's been quite a few weeks since I've had to wear it, and I deserve it.
Well, I'm not upset at all. We could talk about this at the fall foliage meeting.
I love
That's a
that.
great
I love
idea.
that.
Paul, what'd you think about the movie?
When I mean, the reason this started, Dan, the whole podcast is because you and I talked on air about how much we love this in theaters,
That's right. Yep.
And so I loved this in theaters back in May, and I was worried that it was such a theater experience, it would not resonate in the same way on a rewatch on a TV. This movie's great. This movie's great. I appreciated the beginning so much more because of how recently we've watched Fast Five. I think there's a debate as to whether Momoa or Cypher is the best villain, but Momoa is so good in this movie. I mean, it's an unhinged character, but he makes sure a couple times just to be cerebral and kind of plays it straight enough so that you don't think he's just a character of himself, even though he's trying to play a character of himself. This movie's better in theaters, don't get me wrong. I also am not sure how many, I don't know if Dom and Captain Marvel were ever in the same place. Like, there's a lot of green screen in this movie. I'm not exactly sure how many real life people were. I don't think anybody was in Rome. But I think but John Cena is great. It's a total departure. It's really its own movie within the movie. That movie's freaking awesome, as is the overall movie. On a relative scale, until the very, very end, I'm just going to talk for a long time, so Brain has to sweat it out.
I
in that
love
horse
it.
head.
It's a good idea.
But on a relative scale, the stunts in this one until the very end are actually more practical than the last couple films. And I think we need to find a way to watch Fast X Part 2 as a group. This movie's great. It's top 3 for me. 6, 5, 10 is my top 3.
Yeah. Yeah, this movie rules, man. It's awesome for all the reasons that Brian said. And to that point, there were a couple of times we were watching the action sequences, and I was like, it doesn't look quite as good on the small screen as it does on the big screen. And part of that is our TVs maybe not calibrated for the most ideal fast watching experience, but just what an amazing movie. I had an absolute blast, and it's higher on my list of movies I've seen in the theaters this year than like most people that I know that have seen it in theaters. Everybody that I've talked to is kind of like, yeah, it was good. It was good. And then they see where it is on my list and they're like, you sure? You sure about that? I mean, it's top 10 for the year. It's top 10 for the year.
For sure. Me
too.
I love this movie. So super fun. And I can't wait to see what they do next. I will say I do still think I'm picking Shaw and Baby as a TV show that I would watch over John Cena and Lil B, but it's close.
No way. I saw this in the theater, and my first reaction was, this may be the best movie in this series. Like, it was just a thrill ride in the theaters, and so I was fascinated to see how it held up. This movie's great. It is not as good as 5 upon a rewatch, because 5 holds together as this singular heist movie that's so wonderful. But I'll be danged if it's not close.
I'll be dang.
It is really great, and Jason Momoa is a revelation in this movie. He is funny. He's like completely just psychopathic. It's a great villain. He's doing a bit of a Joker bit from Dark Knight here. The plot makes sense, why this guy would want revenge on all these people. John Cena playing his name may as well be different. He's playing a different role in this movie, a different character than he played in the first one. The fact that these two characters have the same name is the biggest atrocity in the series, in the Fast series, because the guy, Jacob, in the last movie is not Jacob in this movie. And not like, let's give John Cena some credit for changing. No, completely different human being. This John Cena and Little B, I would watch that movie, spinoff movie. It's one of the best things the franchise has ever done. It pales to 5 barely. It's better than anything else. Jason Momoa is the best Fast villain, in my opinion, by far. I like Cypher a lot. I can't wait to see what he does next. There's a cliffhanger in this movie. Ugh. Obviously, no one actually dies, but they killed a plane with a lot of his crew on it. That's pretty fascinating. The last thing of this car getting chased by fire down the dam is phenomenal in this movie. It's so great. You get Gal Gadot back in this movie. And what better way? Like, realistically, a lot of this series has gone off the rails. If we're going to bring The Rock back in, what better way than having this guy, Reyes' son, right?
Yeah.
Who his father was killed by Dom, but actually Hobbs pulled the trigger. Mm-hmm. What better way to bring Hobbs back into the fold than this? It makes sense. It's perfect. And so
I'm still mad at the Rap for leaking that.
Yeah, me too.
The stinger was.
That was a bummer.
Yeah, to see that, knowing it was going to happen, did take a little of the sting out of the stinger, unfortunately, because I think it would have been better otherwise. Having said that, this movie combines wacky, new, crazy with a plot that you care about. It is right behind 5 for me. 5, 10, 8, 7, 6, 4, 3, 9, 2, 1. That's my order.
It's just
6, 5, 10, 8, 7, 3, 9, 4, 2, 1.
I don't know, man.
And 4 way down there. Wow.
9 and 4 are neck and neck. 9, although none of us loved it, is more fun than
I will say
4.
this, 4, 3, 9, those 3 movies, there's something about them that if you ask me right now, which one do I want to watch again, it's 3. Yeah. And so the fact that I went 4, 3, 9 is probably
partly.
Incorrect.
I mean, it's its own
3, 4, 9.
It's its own thing. 3. Like, so it's like you kind of at least have a change of scenery.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
It's time for all the feels where we talk about the feels that we had. Ryan.
Thanks, Ralph.
Got a bud.
Quick note, the soundtrack in this movie is great. I sought it out after I saw it in theaters. I still do cardio to it. I love it. Bran, you mentioned this during the recap. Genuinely, I'm not doing a bit. I really love that they put the barbecue at the beginning of the movie because they knew they couldn't put it at the end. Like on a rewatch, knowing I wasn't going to get it at the end of the movie, I was like genuinely, after doing this for 10 weeks with y'all, I was like, thank God they worked in the barbecue.
I didn't realize they had
really
done it in the first viewing.
No, I didn't either. I mean, obviously you don't know what the ending's going to be. So
second viewing, you're like, oh,
it hits different.
Yeah.
It meant a lot to me. Thanks, Fast X.
Yeah. Thank you, Fast X.
Listen.
You don't get to hear it enough. You get your it's
vroom,
thankless.
Fast X.
10th movie in a franchise, thankless. Thank you, Fast X.
Vroom vroom to Letty and Cypher for a fantastic fight sequence. I love that fight sequence. I thought it was fantastic.
Oh, it's unreal.
Apparently, there was no director on set, per Aaron's scooping of IMDb and other sources. I don't know where the director was.
Just
the
said
director said,
and they
"Have at it." But it's a BA fight scene. Like up there. Top 3 fight sequences in this whole series, this whole through 10 movies. Dom Rock, that fight sequence is probably better, but this is like they used a full room. Man, it's great. It's a great fight sequence.
Sequence. Explosives. Explosives sequence. Rio de Janeiro. I'm Brandon. Follow me.
Brian?
Follow me for more saying tips.
Oh man, it's mean, but it's funny. Oh, it's tough.
Yeah, 2 things. One is Jason Momoa. He has a scene where he has 2 dead human beings and he has taped their eyes open and he's doing their nails. It is the darkest thing this series has ever done, and it's perfection. It is just pitch perfect, and I guarantee you he had a lot of improv there, which is great. But let's not bury the lead.
Director didn't show up that day either.
Yeah, no way. Louis Leterrier is watching this movie going, how did that get in there?
I wasn't
What?
there.
Let's not bury the lead here. It wasn't mentioned, I don't believe, by Brand. Rita freaking Moreno is in this movie. And she's 91 years old and she crushes in this movie. She's so great. And it was such a cool addition to see her at the beginning of this movie. Brie Larson, obviously great. Jason Momoa, obviously great. They got 2 like heavy hitters, and then they got Rita Moreno, a Hollywood legend, in this movie somehow, some way. So that was it. Those 2.
10 movies in. Let's just keep up in it.
That's right.
Why not? Let's just bring in the legends.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a quick break. We'll come back with the Wait What and the Fast or Furious here on Deck the Hallmark. Welcome back, everybody. We're talking about Fast X, 2023's Fast X.
2023 Fast, as opposed to the other one.
Absolutely. Let's break this movie down with the Wait What's. Where we talk about what in this movie. Let's go Wait What. Brian, do you have many?
Brian off screen?
No, you, Brian.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, Brian's just enjoying his chips.
Right. Brian's just enjoying his chips loudly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot how Dante coerced all of Cypher's minions into working for him. And it makes sense, except for the fact that there's never a line, at least not one that I caught, where it's just like, if you kill me, they're all gonna, all your families are gonna explode. He just like, if they just kill Dante in that moment, there's no, they have no way to know that what's gonna happen to them.
Right. You gotta take that chance.
The big takeaway for me watching that is, every bad guy should do that. If it's that easy to take over somebody's security to turn against them, everyone's doing that, right? In every movie ever.
It seems like a layup.
Right.
Much like the Magic, who are going to win 40 games of playoffs
40.
this year. Helen.
Oh, I take that for. I take over 40.
Listen, Bran already owes me one hat from one hat from Lids. This is a true story from 3 years ago. He bet me that they would finish 4th or higher in the East.
A few years ago.
3 years ago, 4 years ago. Winner gets loser has to buy the winner any hat they want from Lids. He's decided to go double or nothing with me on 6th in the East.
6
or higher. And I've taken that bet gladly. So,
Bran, as someone who knows a lot about bad bets, that being me, bad bet.
That's fair.
Helen Mirren just happened to be in Rome. Like, even by the standards of the saga, like, there's like, how is she in Rome? Does anybody? She was just in Rome.
She's Helen Mirren. She knows what she wants.
Yeah. She just flew in real quick. Dom proclaiming "Let's race" as there was approximately 200 guns pointed in every which direction, and the crowd pointing the guns cheering is a top fast moment. Like
Let's
we're ready
race.
to die. Yeah, but no, all right, let's race. Jacob trying to keep it as low key as possible. And then eventually they get into like the vacation clothes, except he's like, little B, I'll be right back. I'm going to go to this gas station. And he goes into the gas station still completely in his full tactical gear. So you're not going to totally keep a low profile with that.
They don't have security cameras in that specific gas station.
Gas stations are never robbed. Nope. They're. And then last one, Tej has excellent cell service in this underground sewer that also has no sewage in it. Rome's an amazing place.
I don't have many. My biggest one, and you could probably get a wait what from walkie-talkies, I think, in every fast movie. This one, though, they're Spinny Go Daisies.
This is unbelievable.
And Lil B says, "Hey, Dad," and he's not using a walkie-talkie.
No, he does not have a walkie-talkie.
Lil B doesn't have a walkie-talkie.
He just says, "Dad."
And Dom, who can hear him,
you ready?
Says,
"Hey, buddy. Hey, remember what I told you? Feel the car. Find your line." Who's he talking to? Who is he talking to? Who is he? What is?
You either need the walkie-talkies or you don't need the walkie-talkies.
The bad guy?
And to hear
Is the bad guy, is he passing along Dante like,
he's relaying. Dante's relaying.
Find the line.
Find the line.
What next? What in the world?
And to also hear "find the line, trust the car" as, okay, jump out of our spinny car to your spinny car. I'll know the right time if I feel the car. Is not how that lesson translates, even a little bit, but it was awesome.
They justify that scene by the first scene where he's teaching his kid to do donuts around a telephone pole.
It's the same thing. If you can do donuts around the telephone pole, you can jump out of a spinning car into another spinning car.
Dodge a ball.
That's exactly right. Dano?
He's ready.
Rita Moreno's amazing. Where's she been? The fact that we have 10 movies in 20 years, 2 decades worth of barbecues. Mom hasn't attended one. You guys talk big about family. She hasn't been there for a single solitary barbecue. What in the world? Where you been? That's terrible. I can't believe that they didn't explain it or like, Mom's been in prison. Rita's been in prison. Whatever. Something. It's really bad. How does Han know where Shaw is right now? It's just,
specifically,
an all-time classic line. Han's leaving. They're like, we got to find somewhere that's off the grid and they can't blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I know one place, but he's not going to be happy to see us. How do you know where he is?
It came to Han during his super quick trip.
That was my next one. My third one and last one is these are the fastest acting and disappearing drugs of all time. Han eats some of the muffin and immediately goes loopy and is like, oh, I'm high. And then they walk out of the store and he's fine.
I know where we can find a guy.
Yeah. He immediately is like,
found it in the muffin.
I was high on mushrooms for 30 seconds. Now I know where Shaw is. I know where his underground lair is. The guy that tried to kill me, I've been keeping tabs on him, and I know where he is at all times because of the quick drugs that I just had. That's all I got.
It's time for Fast or Furious, is where we talk about things and try to figure out whether or not we're fast or furious about it for the sake of the segment. Ryan, Fast or Furious?
It might be a little bit of both. I thought about this at the end of the film, and this is cautiously furious because maybe they'll figure something out. But this movie was made, 2022? Came out May 23. Yeah. As best I know, Fast 11 or whatever the heck we're calling it isn't in production. And the strikes obviously complicate that even further. Little B is going to be demonstratively older by the next film. And presumably the next movie is going to begin seconds after this movie ended. Even by Fast standards, that is
a great one. I have not thought about that. Unless this movie did some production already.
Yeah, maybe they shot
them together.
I don't know. Did they film them together or no?
I don't think so. Also, the other thing we haven't talked about, and our fastologists might know more on this, there's conflicting reports. Vin Diesel said two more films.
Yeah, we don't know.
Director said recently one more film, so we don't know what's happening.
Oh.
We could not. We tried to figure that out while we were watching this, and there is definite discrepancy over whether or not there are 2 movies or 3 movies to end this saga. And we don't know that information, but I just assume maybe they filmed a little bit more of it already and they just cut it right there, but I guess not.
Not sure.
I mean, maybe they'll try to do it like, hopefully they filmed past where the movie ends, like what happens with the flames, like, and they have a little bit of him, and then maybe there's a flash forward
to a year later.
Yeah,
whatever.
something.
Yeah. Because Little B was great. He was a real
He
standout.
was great.
Yeah.
Little B was great.
He was great.
I am in a similar vein, very fast, excited. What's the point of this segment? To see how they possibly keep Tej and Roman and the gang alive from that plane crash. We know that they will.
It's like in that Rise of Skywalker. He was on a different transport.
We know
Chewie was on a. You thought it was that one? It wasn't.
It's
That's
not.
a different plane they exploded.
we see them.
Yeah.
But how are they gonna keep all of those guys alive? How is Han? I'm assuming Han is in that plane. How's Han's gonna survive this again, little Mr. Nobody, just pulling strings again? We actually flew into an underground tunnel and they landed
That's right.
fine.
They put a fake plane out there.
it's a fake plane smoke. It's
It
totally
was hovering.
yeah. You wouldn't get it.
You wouldn't understand. That's
You
why.
wouldn't get it.
To be fair to the creators of Fast, the plane flew behind a mountain, which is
Right.
all that they need. That's
all they
Yeah.
need.
They don't need anything else.
They do show you. They show you like a thing of smoke.
That's right.
From behind it, but we
Parachute.
don't see what happens.
No parachute.
Yeah.
they're
They
gonna
hit the
parachute.
eject
They
button.
learned-
They
they
heard
learned
it's a
the-
trap. Yeah.
They learned the lesson from Han, though. They were like, okay, that was even for us, that was tough. So let's just.
Even Gal Gadot in 6, they never
No.
showed her parachute.
No.
Like, so they learned their lesson.
Han is the toughest one there.
Yeah.
Just tell me. For
100%.
sure. I'm upset. I got to wait for this sequel. It's the first cliffhanger of the entire saga, and I think it was an earned, deserved cliffhanger, and I'm mad I got to wait for it, especially with the strike going on, because they're saying April of 2025, but I think maybe that's a stretch at this point. But we do. And
I mean, maybe-
we have to see this in theaters together, guys. That's what we have to do.
Oh, it's going to happen.
Hopefully, with the writer's strike being done, the actors get back to work as soon. Hopefully, that strike
Yeah.
is resolved and they just get straight to it.
Well, the
Like, let's
writers
just-
weren't what they were waiting on for these movies. I can guarantee you that.
Brand, the director didn't even show up. For this
That's
one.
true. The
I
director
mean,
said, "You guys got
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
You guys got this.
I'm going to call preemptive action for tomorrow. So everybody, good night. Action.
You guys got that.
I'm going to bed.
Super elaborate fight scene.
Yeah, I'm out.
I'm good, right? I'm good
Go,
to.
Charlize, do your thing. Yeah.
Y'all got this. They wrote 4 during the 2008 strike, and it was like 4 pages on
And
a
a
Hot Wheels tape.
taped on.
Is we got a driver of the week?
We do. It's Denny Hellbop.
Oh,
Denny Hellbop.
Denny Hellbop.
Denny Hellbop.
Bob.
I'm not sure if it's first and last or middle and last. There's it looks like there could be a space there, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But no capital.
Yeah.
Is it typed?
It is typed.
But you can't tell if there's a
It
space.
seems a little bit less. It seems like maybe there is. There, I don't know. And below it in parentheses, it said, "I have a special program that makes it confusing."
Well, that's
whether or
interesting.
not there's a space or not. Don't offend me. H-bop out.
Oh man.
Oh, it's H. Bob. Well, you're not going to abbreviate your last name.
No, you wouldn't.
Well, I mean, Hellbop, H-bop, Jesus H. Christ. That's could be.
Hellbop.
Oh, was that help? Was that her?
You hold on right now, Jax. We're not ready for you. Hellbop, you're on the line. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jax, you need to be quiet.
are,
Jax, you need
Denny-
to be quiet. Jax, stop talking. Here we going now.
Vroom, Merry Christmas.
Have a vroom, vroom.
Deck the Hallmark's a Bramble Jam podcast is produced by Aaron Shea. For more information on Deck the Hallmark, you can go to deckthehallmark.com. For more information on the Deck the Hallmark family, you can go to bramblejamplus.com. Deck the Hallmark is presented by Philo TV. For a free trial of Philo, go to philo.tv/DTH.